All right, good morning, guys. Watching ONCT here right at the moment. So it's coming up to this downtrend. You see on the 1 minute it's getting rejected right there. It was all the way up at 832 in pre-market. So it does have the ability to really get going. I'm gonna give it a chance here to see. It's gonna break. If it doesn't pull all the way back down here to the trend line, which it's not, it's starting to pop right now. I'm gonna go. Oh, whoops. My stuff for pre-market. Yeah, I'm gonna go still. I'm gonna go 50 shares on this here and see if this gets popping again. Still testing that downtrend line. But getting some good volume. Starting to come in. It's got to break over 520 to really get moving here. So we got 3 minutes on this 5-minute candle. And this, if it doesn't break soon, it's probably going to have a pullback down to the 475 where that 9 is at. But it looks like it's wanting to try. You see, I'm going to take this off because you can see we got a little triangle forming right here. And we just started testing that 520 for a second. Let's see, this may still break. It needs to break soon though. Oh, I said 8:32 pre-market. I was actually in post-market Friday, it looked like, but let's see, 520 starting to slowly get taken out. Still, let's see here. May start breaking. Yeah, starting to pop a little bit here. Now that triangle, let me see where the next resistance is going to be. Yeah, 520 is resistance as well, but we're already kind of through that. So next resistance is at 582, so we got some room to go. You can see that pretty nice strong pop. So that's the break of the downtrend. Downtrend's right there. All the way up to 550 so far. And you can see how that little triangle, perfect little triangle pop it off of the 1 minute chart. No, we're pushing through 550 already. Oh no, we're still getting hung up there a little bit. Alright, that's fine. So we got 9 people in the live stream. I'm not seeing is the chat working? Have you guys said anything in the chat? Normally see some messages by now, but I'm not seeing anything. I just want to make sure it's working. If you guys can give me a hello or what's up or something. There we go. Yeah. Okay, so it is working. Thank you, Cronies. Not sure exactly what it is, but appreciate that there. Let me know that everything's working. See, we got rejected at 550. But I'm alright holding this 50 shares as long as we don't have a big sell-off. There's four green candles in a row right there on the 5 minute, so I would expect a little bit of a pullback. I mean, it did just go from 430 up to 550. So anybody who was brave and got down here, and this is kind of off of the bounce of this trend line. I just had stepped away for a little while because the entry would have been nice, like right there. That would have been like the best entry, like in that 460 area. After you see it bouncing off of this previous trend line. But I said I missed it, so instead I took the entry at the break of the downtrend, which we're pulling back kind of hard here. The stock just moves pretty quick though. So I mean, even though this is a little pullback, this could easily pop right back up to that 550. We did get a little bit off of the 9 though on the 5. The 9's still down at 490, so. This is the Thinkorswim platform. I have videos on how to set it up. If you do decide to go with Thinkorswim platform, I like it. It's free. Thinkorswim has free commissions on stocks, and it's pretty good charting, and it's got some other features that a lot of other ones don't have. Sometimes it's a little glitchy, but most of the time it works pretty well. Interactive Brokers, I've heard good things about them. So let's see, we got a minute left on this 5 minute candle to close. Oh, you're in Asia? Yeah, it's total. TD Ameritrade's totally different in other countries. Yeah, it looks like we're going to pull back to this 9 here. I'm willing to hold this down to the 9. That's about as far as I want to hold it to. But yeah, TD Ameritrade is totally different in other countries than it is in the U.S. Because I've heard Canadians say that they have a hard time trying to use it, and I think they pay quite a bit of commissions for using it. But from what I've heard, Interactive Broker rivals it, I would think. So we're having this little sell-off. Right here on the 1 minute, this little sell-off downtrend line needs to break soon. If not, it'll follow it straight down. So what time is it in Asia right now? You trading the U.S. markets in Asia? I'm assuming it's at nighttime. I don't know. Asia's a big place, so I don't know where exactly you're at in Asia. So. Let's see. So yeah, we did pull back to this 9. Let's see if we bounce there. Time frames. So this top one is a daily 1 year chart. You definitely want the 1 year daily chart because you're going to be using this for support and resistance. And then this chart right here is a 5 minute, 5 day chart. So that way you kind of, and charting's a little different for everybody, but this is just what I use and what I like. It gives me a good idea. But with the 5 minute, 5 day, I can kind of look back there and, I can see this trend line that's on here. And then this right here is the 1 minute. 1 minute's going to be your most detailed. That's why I have it like blown up right here real close, because on the 1 minute I really don't care about what's going on back here because I can see it on the 5 minute. All I care about on the 1 minute is exactly what's going on right at this moment in the past few minutes. Tesla popped? No, I didn't see it popped. Is it popping today? I'll flip over and look at some other stocks in a second. I want to make sure this is going to hold up. This 9 EMA. $5 keeps trying to hold a support. We want to see that too. 9's at $4.91, and then $5 is some support. Kind of a little bit in the. Yeah, see, you're still testing that 9 EMA. It needs to get off that 9 EMA, but we got a minute and 15 seconds left on this 5 minute candle to close. This 5 minute candle close. Really, I'd like to see it close above $5, but as long as it closes above that, 490 area where the 9 was at, then that would be fine too. We just want it to close above the 9. We don't want it to close below the 9. The trigger for me is, it can be a multitude of things. There's a lot that goes into it. So if you're new, I've got a whole playlist of lessons for day trading and stuff that will give you a really good idea. But like on this one, like I said, there's this downtrend. We had the uptrend line here the past couple of days, and then the downtrend from the sell-off from when it was way up at 832. And on the 5 minute, when I see it start getting close to that, like I said, the best spot would have been right here bouncing off of the the uptrend. But I missed that. So Wait, I waited for it to come up and see if it was going to break the main downtrend, because it's just the direction that the stock is going. But that downtrend broke, so that's why I popped in there. But you can see on the 1 minute, triangles are pretty cool to learn about. They can be very useful, but that was a nice little triangle break there when it broke up to 550. But I mean, that's just one pattern. Let's see. Oh yeah, for the downtrend, yeah, I mean, it's still kind of testing that downtrend, and these downtrend lines and uptrend lines are not like concrete, but they just kind of like give you a good idea. But yeah, it is still kind of testing on the 5 minute on the downtrend. But I mean, we've broke through it once. Looks like it's going to try to break again. But the thing with day trading is you never know, because one person can come in and ruin your day. One shorter can come in and just one big shorter who trades in big positions can come and ruin your day. So even though we're looking good and it looks like it may break out and keep moving, you never actually know. You can never be 100% sure. So we just got to keep watching and follow the information that the market has given us. But this is why it was important for this candle to close above the 9, because we want that price action to continue to show strength and show it moving up. So it did come down and test and bounced off, and even bounced off here. And now we're pushing up, so we want to see the direction continually moving up, especially of the 9. We want this to ride the 9 and ride all the way and continue to just climb up in this direction. But look, since you're new, price action is the main thing you want to learn. Before you learn about indicators or anything, you really want to learn about price action. Price action is the ultimate key to trading. And that's just learning the direction of the stock and the who's in control, the buyers or the sellers. It's a little more complicated than the two things I just said, but it's also kind of simply. Yeah, long-term investing's great. I do that as well. I've got a portfolio. I love dividend stocks. Dividend stocks, long-term investments are pretty nice. Getting paid just to hold the stock. It's not a bad deal. But day trading's a tricky thing. All the gurus, self-proclaimed gurus and all that you see on the Facebook ads and the YouTube ads saying they've got the perfect strategies and all that, and day trading is super easy. They're just trying to get you to sign up for their courses. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not selling anything, so it's not as easy as they make it seem. So if you're new, be very wary of anybody trying to sell you something and telling you, giving you pipe dreams, because that get rich overnight is not how day trading works. Just like with long-term investment, it takes time to build. Day trading the same way. you're most likely not going to hit a stock that's going to make you a millionaire overnight. Like, you'd have to have like some crazy capital to invest in the beginning, and it would just be crazy. Like, the key to being a consistent day trader is keeping your losses very small, and try to let your profits run. Just try to win a little bit more than you lose. If you constantly win a little bit more than you lose, and you're keeping your stop losses small, then you can grow an account. We're still kind of getting hung up here. It's having a little bit of issues getting through this 525 area, but EMA is good. Those other things, I mean, if you want to use them for long-term investments, I mean, I'm more of a value investor long-term than I am a technical investor, so I don't really use any of that other than the EMAs, but I just do my research on the company. I want to only put my money in companies that know how to run their company. So if they have more cash and more revenue than they do debt, then that's a pretty decent company to me. They're not billions in debt, and it looks like we're going to test this 550 area again here. If it breaks 550 this time, I'd say we'll get moving pretty good. I'm looking back on this daily chart up here. There's going to be probably some resistance at this 580 area, and then the high of the year is 629. Even though, post market Friday it went up to 832. That's not going to show because it's post market. So the high of the year is 629. So that's definitely going to be some resistance as well. But we did get rejected at that 550. We kind of got a triangle forming here on the 5-minute. You can see the 9's kind of the bottom of the triangle. Kind of looks like a bull flag, which a bull flag is just a triangle. So all kinds of fancy names for patterns, but it's easy just to say a triangle. A flag is a triangle. And people say pennants, flags, all that stuff. It's just a triangle. That's all it is. Like, you don't need a special name for each triangle. Yeah, there you go. Do I use a stop loss when you pop any buy? Sometimes not. Stop losses, putting them in. I mean, you want to be safe for sure. If you're not quick on the trigger, you probably definitely want to be always using stop losses. My stop loss right now on this is a mental stop loss. I know if that 9 cracks or $5 cracks at this point, then I know I want to get out, and I'd rather mark it out. But like right here, and this is a perfect example too. Like I said, I wanted the 9 EMA to hold up. If I would have put a stop loss right below the 9 right here, anywhere in that little area, it would have got hit. And then I would be out of this stock. So that's why I prefer not to use a stop loss, an actual limit order stop loss. Just have a mental stop loss and give it a chance. Because a lot of times that'll happen. You'll get stopped out and then miss the rest of the run. Which I don't know if this is going to keep running or not. It's really getting hung up at that 550. But we are still slowly climbing up the 9, which is what I like to see. So Still pretty decent volume in here. Volumes, all these 5-minute candles have been a million in volume. So good attention on this. Like I said, let's see something. Yeah, and you can kind of adjust the downtrend line. It still looks like that we're kind of in the downtrend on the 5-minute, but it looks like it's going to try to break here soon. Hey, what's up, Usama? How you been, buddy? It's been a long time since I talked to you. How's your drop shipping business going? Oh, woo, big pop there out of nowhere. We just popped all the way up to, what was that, 574? Just a nice volume push just came in there. We're still getting held up a little bit, but if it breaks through here, we should start getting a pretty decent move. We'll see what it looks like. Like I said, that 575 is going to be some resistance. I'm not too concerned about it. My profit target's probably going to be the high of the year at that 630. Unless I see something change in the price action. But as of right now, if we continue at the rate we're continuing, that 630 is where I'll be looking to lock out. Maybe 6. As you can see right across here, there's a bunch of candles that hit. Like that 6 area. We'll see. There's no telling until we get there. We just gotta ride it out. Well, we popped right through that 575. Falling back down a little bit there. Hey, no problem, buddy. Anytime you want to come join the live streams and trade with us, come hop over here. See, we want to see 550 start holding up as support. That 550 was, a pretty tough resistance area, so we don't really want this to drop below 550 at the moment. Oh, nice. Finally took advantage of Aurora. Yeah, Aurora got a big pop here recently. I know a lot of people at the beginning of the year when I was talking about Aurora and saying, don't count this stock out yet. A lot of people were thinking it was going to be the end for Aurora. And I was one of the very few stock market YouTubers who was saying, Aurora has a lot of assets. They could sell off a lot of these assets and still be good even with everything happening. And now you see them kind of kicking back in there. This last week with Biden potentially winning the race. I guess people are expecting them to legalize federally, which would be big for the pot stock industry. So, that's pretty much why Aurora is getting a pop at the moment. But and look here, it says another little triangle right here on this right there. I want you guys to see that it's popping out of it now. But there was another little triangle on the 1 minute. This thing keeps popping out of triangles on the 1 minute chart. Let's see, we're up to that 580 there. So we'll probably definitely push to 6 here, I would imagine. And then I will decide at that point if I want to lock out. We'll see what happens at 6. Because what, I only got like $250 invested in this, and at 6 I'd be up about $40. So, that's like a 15% gain. That wouldn't be a bad gain on the day. I just don't want to get greedy and hold this too long. Because it's very easy to look at this 832 and think, oh man, this might go all the way up to $8, but you know, greed will get you. So let's see, what do we get? Well, we got the 591. That was as high as we got so far, anyway. And that's about where the bottom of these candles is in that area. So that is a little resistance at 591 area. So this will probably have to consolidate a little bit. A little bit longer here. Well, man, I'm glad you got you're drop shipping into a clothing brand, man. That's awesome to hear. You've been my inspirational story. I tell people when they're saying they hate their 9 to 5 and all that stuff. I tell them the story of Osama. Now he quit the job he hated and took out after his drop shipping dreams and making a better life for himself instead of having to be a server at a restaurant. If more people would have that entrepreneurial spirit, man, the world would be a lot better off. But I mean, there's a lot of people out there who just feel like the world's gonna just stop them in their tracks no matter what. But the key is you just can't give up. You gotta continue living life. And as long as you're trying to be an entrepreneur and trying to get ahead, at some point you'll break that gate down and you'll make it. So a little bit off the 9 still. This could pull back again down to the 9 at 530, but that 550 is trying to hold. Looks like we're going to get another push up here. Possibly. So we know in the 1 minute it likes to triangle. We don't really got it at this moment. Yeah, I mean, you can kind of draw a triangle there, but it's kind of an ugly triangle. It's not exactly the triangle I want. So we'll just use this downtrend for an indicator, this little tiny downtrend for an indicator at the moment of when another pop may be happening. But like I said, we could pull back down to here. Hopefully. I'll say hopefully, but we really don't want that. We really want that 550 to hold. I want to see this 5-minute candle here close above 550, preferably above 560. We got 30 seconds for it to do it. But we are getting some selling pressure up in this area. Pretty much from right here from 570 up to 6, quite a bit of selling pressure. So we're gonna need some nice volume buyers coming in to push through that. I'm still kind of testing that 575 as well. It's still acting as some resistance. Draw a line right across here on the 1 minute and see where all these candles hit at 575. Oh, now it's just got a quick little pop out of that. So we can take that little downtrend off. But that 590, that's where we got to see it pop over 590. We're still getting 591 actually. We want to see it this time. We want to see it push over that. And it looks like we're going to get close. Oh, there we go. So we did push over that right after I said that. But we immediately came back down. So, yeah, you can see there. Selling pressure still in that 590 to 6 area is pretty strong. We did get a nice volume push on that candle. We need to see more volume starting to come in right in this area. If we don't break through 6 soon, we will pull back down to this 9. This area is a tough area. All you got to do is look back on the 5 minute. You can draw this line straight across here from all those candles. And post-market and pre-market. And you can see that's that old support where this was bouncing off of is new resistance. And that's where we're really getting hung up at, right through there. But you can see this right here. This is kind of sideways consolidation. But we are building higher lows and higher highs into this resistance, but it needs to break it soon. Our higher lows get, I think at this point, if it drops below, probably, if it drops below 565, it'll pull back down here to the 9 at 540. If it can stay above 565, then we might get that break. We're just consolidating right now. All this sideways consolidation. Got a minute on this 5 minute candle to close. We really want to see this 5 minute candle close over 565. Preferably over 584. If it could come all the way back up and get over this. But I don't know if it's going to. It's really getting pushed down. Got 40 seconds. We'll see. It's kind of starting to look to me like it's going to pull back to the 9, but still a little early to tell. See, 565 trying to hold. So we did close over 565, but that was a really close close. we are below 565, so I don't know. Yeah, it looks like we're going to pull back to the 9 here. And draw a little downtrend there on the 1 minute. We'll see it get back above this little downtrend, this little sell off. I'm starting to pop back up again here. Decent buying volume, but like I said, we're going to need a big buying volume push to get through that 591 area. Because pretty much we're going to have to see it be pushed through 592, that resistance there, and $6. Both of those are going to be resistance. We're going to need a big volume push. At this point, though, we're still just kind of sideways consolidating, so I really don't know which way this is going to go at the moment. Decent amount of buyers came in at 575. That might get some buyers to come and push this up some more. They see that support, that much support there at 575. We're starting to move up. Oh, here we go. We just popped all the way. We just popped 2.6. Let's see if we're going to break 6 here. Because I'm either going to lock out here or this is going to really start ripping. And we did just break through 6. Let's see if this starts going or not. Ooh, buyers starting to build at $6 for support, so we might actually get going here. If they can hold that up. And they're trying at the moment. We'll see that resistance of 590 and 6 start turning into support instead of resistance. Right now it's kind of a tug of war right here to see which one it's going to do. And if I see 6 is acting as well, it broke right through it again though. Oh, we're starting to push up here. I said if 6 starts holding that support, then I'm gonna keep holding this. If resistance, ooh, big buyer just came in at 6, 30,000 shares. Oh, he's about to get taken out. See, this is a tug of war right now. We're in a tug of war at this major resistance line, back and forth to see who's going to retain control. We want to see the buyers retain control and make that new support. And we're popping up. Like I said, high of the year is 629. So if we keep climbing here at 629, I'm probably going to lock it out there. But I'm getting real close to locking this out one way or the other. There's some resistance at that 620. Let's see, they got taken out though. I'm pushing on up here. We're a little ways off the 9. A little pullback here. thinking about just locking this out. So it's trying to hold up 610 now, support. It's a big volume push, but I mean, we are a little ways off the 9 EMA right now. Let's see here. Let's see what's going to happen. This is looking like it may get crazy. A lot of sellers at 625. I might give it one more chance here to try to break that 625. Oh, and it did break really quickly. This is either going to have a pretty decent sell-off here in a second, or this is going to rip probably pretty hard in a second. There's a lot of selling pressure in this area. Decisions. We're getting a little bit of a sell-off here. 610 still trying to hold up. Let's see, we got 3 minutes on this 5-minute candle. $6.15 starting to act as some resistance. I may now $6.15 broke there. Like I've got my finger on the trigger. Like I'm about to lock out, but I'm trying to give it a second here. So we are getting a little triangle. And I just saw at the corner of my eye, you guys are posting some messages. I'll get to those in a second. But right now, I got to keep my eyes locked on this to see which way this is going to go. Oh, there's a pullback right there. That triangle cracked. God, right back over 6. Yeah, I just don't know. But it hasn't broke yet, so I don't know if it's going to break anymore. You know what? I'm going to lock it out. I'm going to just be safe and lock it out. I'll take the $44 profit. It's just getting so sketchy at this moment. What pair? I'm not trading Forex. This is stock. But I'll take it. Nice little easy slow climb win today. You know, at $250 invested on 50 shares, made $44 profit. That's what, a 20% gain? Close to a 20% gain. It's not bad. I will take it, but it was getting a little sketchy there. Like this candle here, I just I wanted to see this little triangle hold up, and it popped this triangle, but instead it cracked down. And at that point, you know, it could pull all the way back down to 575. But we are right at that high of the year, so at that point it could have easily went anywhere. That high of the year was going to be major resistance. If it ends up breaking that high of the year, then it very easily could keep pushing. So AMD, see what AMD's doing. I mean, I like AMD. Leaked documents tease AMD Big Navy GPUs are coming to Tesla. Man, that sounds like a crazy rumor. Crazy rumor. I'm invested in AMD long term, so I don't know if you're trying to day trade this or what. At the moment, you got this downtrend that you'd want to see break. Once it gets over 87, you know, it might move up. But at the moment, for today, it's in a downtrend. Yeah, let's see, ONCT. Yeah, it looks like ONCT is probably going to pull back to this 9. Like I said, I'm happy with that little profit. I'll take it. VXRT. I don't know anything about it to tell you. To give you an idea, like, I don't know. Like, I like AMD because it's a major company. You know, they're competing with Intel and AMD. They're both companies that have stuff that's I use. Like, if I have an Xbox, I've got the AMD chip and processor in there, and then my computer I'm using now is Intel, or not. The computer itself's not Intel, but the chip that's in it is an Intel chip. So, you know, long term, I like to, like I said earlier in the stream, I like to invest long term in things that I use, and in companies that are good companies that are more profitable. So, I don't know anything about VXRT. You'd have to go and look at the revenue, all their income and all that different stuff. See, it looks like ONCT actually may start popping here. It may actually get over that. You see the downtrend right there. It's starting to break that downtrend. ONCT may actually break that high a year. But yeah, you really don't want to be in live streams and stuff asking people what good long-term investments are. You really want to be doing your own research, because, you know, anybody can say anything about a stock and you can say it's going to go up. Nobody really knows 100% sure. You just want to be investing in the best possible scenarios for your money. There's tons of things to invest in. So it all depends on the person. You know, like I said, I like to invest in things that I know about. I know about technology, and I know about real estate and financing. So those are things I invest in: REITs, technology companies. Well, if you've done your research, I mean, what do you think? Do you think it's a good investment? Are they making more money? More money than they're losing? Let's see, what's DHI? I'm not familiar with this stock. One thing I like to do is I like to look at the max chart and see what the stock has been doing over the past, 10, 20 years if I'm going long term. And, I mean, without looking at their revenue or anything, this is not bad. It is a little high up at the moment, but I see they've pretty much consistently paid a dividend. What is that dividend? Is that quarterly? See if I can get on it here. Yeah. So it's a quarterly dividend. They've been paying pretty consistent for the last 13 years. So, yeah, I mean, without even looking at anything besides the chart and the dividend payments, I would imagine it's not a bad investment. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know anything about it, but just off of looking at it, I would definitely do some more research on it. Matter of fact, I'm going to because I like this chart. DHI, and I like the dividend. Although, something I just now realized though. Let's see, quarterly dividend. The dividend's growing too, so that's decent. But 17 cents times 4, what is that? A little less than 80 cents a year. It's at 67 right now. So I'd want to see their numbers, but their dividend payment is kind of weak. It's this kind of like a 1% dividend yield for that price. Boy, getting it there back in March during the down at 25, that would have been a great spot to get that. But it being kind of up here in the 67.80, it's kind of a small dividend. But if it's a very profitable company and your long-term investing in the dividend is constantly growing, it could be a good thing. That's a pretty good projection. I would think the same thing. That the lower interest rates will have more people building homes. I don't know. The thing is, we're still in it, and this might get mixed. This might get mixed opinions on here. Let's see, TBLT starting to pop a little bit. It looks like, but the election is not over in the U.S. And I'm not saying it from a Trump supporter standpoint of their allegations of fraud and all that. I'm saying the election is not actually over because it is not actually over until December 12th, when all the states are certified, all the votes in the states are certified and validated. Then it will be over, but it's not quite over yet. So I know the media is portraying that Biden has won and that's it, and that's everybody's hanky panky, but I was alive during Bush Gore 2000, so I am very aware of how things can change in an election like this. So I'm not. I'm not counting my chickens before they hatch. So because of that thought, I am not sure what is going to happen yet, because the market is seeming to react pretty positively to Joe Biden being declared victor. I mean, it's been popping. I don't know if that's because of Biden or because I don't really know for sure. I'm just the only thing I can really see is maybe that's what the market's reacting positively. So I don't know. It's hard to say what's going to happen, but I do think if interest rates stay low, that what is it, DHI probably is a decent investment. But there's a lot that could still change. Like I said, with this election and everything, there's a lot that could change. So I don't know right at the moment exactly what to say about looking for long-term investments. This is kind of in a bit of a dip too, DHI. It's an interesting stock. It's definitely one I want to check out a little further. Sundial Growers, SNDL. Is that a pot company? High edible market, yeah. Sound, yeah. It looks like it is probably a. Let's see. Sales distribution agreement with local company chocolatier company. Expands product portfolio into the edible market. Yeah, cannabis infused. I just want to make sure it was cannabis. Yeah, I mean, a lot of the cannabis stocks are getting some of that they like with supposedly Biden winning, cannabis stocks are probably going to keep getting a pop. Because I think Aurora has still been popping too. Yeah, Aurora was all the way up at 620 this morning early. But yeah, we might see cannabis stocks keep running. So SNDL is above the 9 EMA, down at 50 cents. It surged in pre-market. It's not really surged yet to out of pre-market. You got this downtrend. I don't want to see it break over 50 cents before I get too excited about it. If it breaks over 50 cents, then that downtrend will be kind of broken. So possibly a trade there. I know the interest rates have nothing to do with the election directly, but indirectly, depending on the president and their policies. I know what the feds are saying, but the feds could change things. There's a lot that could change with this election that could make the feds want to change what they're doing, possibly. I mean, that's the thing. I'm not saying anything one way or other. All I'm saying is there's a lot of unknown right now, a lot of up in the air, at least in my opinion. But it could go either way. Who knows? NIO. NIO, I think, is a electric car company, right? Yeah, it's EV. I wouldn't make a statement like NIO will never go down. I mean, it's definitely going to come back down at some point, but it has been on a nice nasty run here. And that's another thing with Biden looking like the possible winner. He was talking a lot about charging stations and electric vehicles, and banning fossil fuels. So as long as this is what I was trying to get at earlier. The cannabis stocks, the EV, they're getting these pushes off of projected Biden win. If something happens and this acts like it turns into a Bush Gore 2000, that easily could change in the next couple of weeks. If Bush Gore situation happens and ends up flipping for Trump, these stocks that are getting these pushes could sell off. Maybe not. I don't know. But all I'm saying is there's still a lot of unknowns with all of this. Yeah. Oh yeah, no, I know the parties are mostly noise, and from what I saw, it is going to be a pretty gridlock Congress. The Republicans won a lot of seats in the House, making it a little bit evener in there, and then it looks like they'll probably retain the Senate. I do think it'll be a gridlock Congress, most likely. As of right now, that's what it's looking like, but
but still, like I said, it's not all over yet. So things could easily change one way or another, and that's all I'm saying. I'm just saying to me there's still unknowns. I'm not gung ho and ready to start jumping in things at the moment. I'm just saying for me personally, there's still a lot of unknowns, and you know, gridlock would be interesting. Probably would be good for the stock market, but things could still change dramatically one way or the other. So I'm just not jumping the gun and jumping in pot or EV or anything right away. NIO has a nice uptrend though. You can draw us an uptrend line right here. Maybe so, Dan. It looks like that. It definitely looks like that. And it may not. It may not. I just, like I said, I just remember Gore versus Bush. I remember it very well. And to me, just kind of seems like the same situation kind of playing out. Um, so who knows? But I mean, I kind of agree with you. It doesn't look like that's going to happen. But all I'm saying is I just don't know. That's the statement that I'm making and my thoughts on everything going on. I don't know. I'm not confident in giving an answer one way or the other at the moment because I just don't know. Like I think we could continue in this trend. We're continuing in. Biden could it could be official. It could still be Biden after all the recounts and all that stuff, and EV and pot could keep running. But that's the thing. I just don't know. We don't have anything official, solid, and concrete yet for me to try to make that type of confident call. Until things are concrete and official, then I'll, maybe have a little better idea of what's going to be happening with the markets and stuff. But until anything's concrete and official, I just feel like you know, it's one of them things. It's just like, 2020's been a crazy year. 2000 wasn't even that crazy of a year. We did have the scare of 2000, the computer crashes and stuff, but 2020's been the craziest year as long as I've been alive. So that's another reason why I'm just saying I don't know, because this year's been so wild and crazy that things could easily, just be more wild and crazy. I'm not I'm not going to jump the gun on saying anything until, I see concrete stuff. Yeah, it was the Chads. It was the hanging Chad thing. Like I said, I don't know. It may not be the exact same thing as Bush versus Gore, but just seeing the way the media is handling it and everything, it's kind of hard to say. To me, I just don't know. So ONCT did pull back, so I did make the right decision by locking out that profit because it is now below the 9 EMA. So I'm glad to see that I made the right decision. I mean, even if it would have kept ripping, I still made the right decision because I'm green. I made a profit for today. So, but very nice. See, AHT. This was interesting. Kind of. Does this thing have a dividend? I forgot I had this on the max chart. So this did have a dividend, but doesn't have it anymore. Go back to my year chart. We got to talking about long-term investing, and now the elections. right there, possibly. Just moving slow. It's moving slow, but it is. I mean, it does look like it's gonna hold this breakout here. Maybe keep breaking out. That sold completely off. And I'm gonna give the stream about 10 more minutes here, guys, because I made a trade for the day, made a little profit. GameStop not doing anything. So if you guys have any more questions, suggestions, or ideas, get those in, and I'll try to answer those real quick. DJLY looks like it's selling off, looking pretty ugly. Whoops. There we go. DHI, I'm gonna take a look at it later. ASMB, this did get a little dead cat. I had this on my watch list to see if it was gonna get the little dead cat bounce because it gapped way down, sold off, and then it had kind of came back up in pre-market, but it did get a nice little 60-cent bounce there. But ONCT took my attention from anything else. AHT is interesting. Let's see a downtrend start to break. Let's see, where's the 210 is where the 50-day is. And then it does have room up to 386, up to that 100-day. So it does still have some room. Looks like it's going to break out of this downtrend now. Kind of confirming that breakout. That old resistance right here. Sitting on a 5-minute, that old resistance turning into new support. So you might possibly get a breakout on this. Yeah, ONCT pulling all the way back. Way down there. PHIO is kind of interesting as well. You got a big triangle on this 5-minute. It's above all indicators except the 200. The 200's way up here at 478. It's possibly could see a triangle breakout maybe today, later on. This is interesting. That'd be one I'd keep on watch. Oh, ACT pulling back, so it couldn't break that downtrend right there. It almost did, and then getting slammed back down. So at this point, you want to see this 220 area hold up as support. See, AMC, I think, got a pretty good run in pre-market. Yeah, AMC bounced up pretty nicely, but not doing anything at the moment. C and K, those are kind of moving all over the place. Big resistance for at 263. Yeah, and you can kind of see the downtrend of the top of the triangle is right around that 263 area as well. I'm assuming you're looking back here on the... Oh, there's actually a gap to fill back here too if it was to get up over 340. Yeah, that 260-270 area, I'm seeing back on the chart, there's quite a few different areas. Yeah, 265 right there. So yeah, it is a tough area as well. That's probably why it's consolidating. Lot of resistance above this. But it is doing a nice little consolidation. Like I said, it'd be worth watching for a little bit longer. See if it's gonna get any attention. Volume's kind of dying off though at the moment. Right now volume's real light. So I'd want to wait and see if any volume starts coming into it. If it starts getting close to that 265 area, and volume starts coming in, maybe it may get going. But there's no volume at the moment, so there's no reason to try to trade it at the moment at all. Till you start seeing some better volume. I just thought it was an interesting pattern. Cause this here's what I like about it. It's right above this 100-day moving average at 250, and then it's got room to all the way up to 479 for the 200-day moving average. But there is that 260 area resistance, and then there's going to be some other, like 338 will be tough resistance. I just like that little space, because you kind of got pretty good support down in these areas, and then a good amount of room to run if it does break that major 265 resistance. Oh yeah, AHT just dumped off hard. To scalp, now there's not enough volume in it to scalp. That's for sure. Right now, there's very little volume. It definitely wouldn't want to. I mean, it's not moving fast enough to scalp. I wouldn't even trade it right now. That's what I was saying. I'd wait and see if it gets volume. But at the moment, I wouldn't touch it. For a scalp, I'd probably keep an eye on ONCT. So ONCT, has had pretty good volume. Volume's kind of decreasing on it at the moment. But there could be a couple possible scenarios. If it continues to sell off, you might get a little bounce off of the trend line there and get a quick little scalp on it. Got a pretty steep downtrend at the moment. That 9 is acting as resistance. Have to get back above the 9 to look for some other type of position, but could be a bounce there if volume stays in it. Let's see, AHAT, a lot more selling volume through here than buying volume. Let's see, how's TBLT doing? It's not doing much. Well, all right, I think I'm going to call it a day. Got the decent win there, about a 15% gain on ONCT, not too bad. Good job to anybody who got in that as well and made some profit on this little run up to that high of the year. We should be back tomorrow. Thank you for everybody joining me as always and hitting those like buttons. You know, it helps. Appreciate that. You guys have a great rest of your day. Stay safe out there. Until next time.